Welcome back to Kiss My Ash Radio. I am Adam K. the Brewmeister, and we are broadcasting live from Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. I'm, of course, joined by the extrovertedly awesome Honest Abe and the lovely Lady M.
Good morning, good morning.
And we are here now with noted actor, thespian,
cigar enthusiast,
man of many talents and industries, Armand Assante. Armand, thank you for being here.
I want to thank you for having me, and I'm very honored to be here because maybe a lot of listeners out there don't know Abe the Bednar is a legend in the cigar industry.
They keep telling me I'm a legend in my own mind. That's why
I say that all the time, but then I get slapped.
But thank you seriously for having me on.
Oh, the pleasure is absolutely all ours.
Pleasure's all ours. The honor's ours. I mean,
Thank you.
I'm telling you, I literally grew up watching you all over cinema, TV, the big screen. So.
I grew up watching me too.
Well said. Well said. I mean, but talk about growing up. You know, I did a lot of reading about you before you came on. You were born to an Italian father, Armand Sr., who was a painter and artist, and your mother was a music teacher and a poet.
Yeah.
Did they have heavy influences on you?
Tremendous influence.
The career of the arts, pretty much?
Yeah, I think that everyone is a product of the conditions they grow up in. I was very, very fortunate in that both my parents were in the arts. They matriculated in the arts, and they, I saw my first Broadway play when I was 4. And Mary Martin and Peter Pan. I was trying to fly for a long time after that. but I had a great experience in watching Broadway theater when I was very young, for many times. And then I was in the theater for 10 years before I made a film. So I had a tremendous background in music and painting, and it was a great life experience. And I think it's essential in education today that the arts be really taken very, very seriously, because we're at a time right now in education where there's a lot of problems, and the arts have to come. The impact that the arts have on students and the ability to express themselves is it's immense.
Yeah.
Mind-boggling. I mean, and so you had a long-time career on stage before you even ever went to TV or cinema.
Well, I was 10 years in the theater, and then
Wow.
I attempted Hollywood, and I started to work, and thank God I had an incredible life now and an incredible career.
Well, I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but since your, I believe, career began on film or TV in 1974, through the present, it's about 42 years that you've been involved in television or cinema. Every single year you've had something, except 3. During that whole 42 years. I mean, you stayed very busy from your inception. But did you ever feel at some point during the 10 years of theater, or I don't know how long it took you to finally break into acting, did you get frustrated and say maybe this wasn't going to work out?
Every day.
Every day. Every day.
Every day of your life. I mean, and the truth about the... certainly the theater, film, and television industry is it's a marginal industry, even though I will say this, that the entertainment industry now is one of the last great staple industries left in the United States. We are up there with what electronics was at one time. So I mean, it's very important, and people from all over the globe have moved and are trying to get into the U.S. just to get into the entertainment industry. It's a fact. It's just incredible how many people from all over the world want to be part of the entertainment industry. But in terms of myself, I mean, it still is every day. You have to stay on target in terms of what are you directing yourself for, what do you want to do, what do you want to accomplish with stories, who do you want to work with. And I will say this, my entire career, which has been based on long-term relationships, everything emanates from the relationships you have in your life, and that's the long and the short of it.
I'm really glad you brought that up about who you want to work with. Now, over this long career you've had, is there anyone you haven't worked with that you really want to, as a director or just another actor or actress who you would just love to be able to just...
Let me preface this by saying that you don't often get to work with who you want to.
Obviously.
So I mean,
you hope to.
It really is a matter of survival. But I mean, as I've moved internationally all over the world now, I find that I want to cultivate young, talented people the way a lot of people when I was a young person wanted to cultivate me. So I do everything I can to help young directors find their feet and get some kind of a foundation in the film industry, and it's paid off. I mean, I can't tell you the rewards; they're not monetary rewards, but the spiritual rewards of seeing them progress and have gone on to do amazing things. That's very gratifying.
You speak of long-term relationships. You know, you worked alongside Stallone in your first two films, Lord of Flatbush and Paradise Alley, and then later on with Judge Dredd.
Yeah.
Are you close with him?
Well, I mean, I don't know how many people in the industry have even the time to stay close, and certainly Sly. Sly is one of the busiest performers on the planet. So I mean, he's been very kind to me whenever we do work. I mean, I know literally that he could pick up the phone or send me an email in 2 minutes, and no time has passed. That's one of the most fascinating things about working in the industry. I was once in the theater with Val Kilmer. He was a very young actor, and I ended up working on a film with him. Very short-lived project, but the point is that. He walked in the room, and I hadn't seen him in 32 years, and it was like time stopped. It was like it was just like, hey, let's go to work. It's an amazing thing.
Yeah.
When you work in the creative process, which is being eroded from the industry because of economics, but when you work in the creative process, it's amazing that the importance and the relevance of intimacy takes over your life for those times. So it's not like you have a friend, you have a brother.
Yeah.
I mean, you've developed this relationship that is inimitable and indelible and will not go away. So, I mean, that's what I mean. He could pick up the phone and call me and say, hey, I got a gig, I need you to be in Bulgaria tomorrow. It literally can happen like that.
It's funny.
And it's shorthand. It's like, of course. Mm-hmm. It's like musicians who've played forever together. They need a guitar player, they need a bass player or a drummer. Can you be at this gig tomorrow night? We got to go.
It's funny you say that. If you're just joining us, we're here with Armand Assante. But, I think everybody has this misconception that everybody in Hollywood is always like, they're always running into each other.
Right.
They're partying, they're social gals.
No.
But here you're talking about you haven't seen an actor in 32 years. I mean,
right.
I think it's a misconception I think the common person has is that Hollywood people are always,
Yeah.
rubbing elbows and getting together and doing stuff together. But, yeah.
It's really a day-to-day survival kind of profession to live in.
I can only imagine. Now, you've been nominated multiple times for Emmys and Golden Globes. One of my favorites was Q&A with Timothy Hutton and Nick Nolte. I was a young kid, and I'll have to be honest with you, my brother was almost as much as a TV guru, movie guru as I was, and he's 4 years younger than me at the time, and he's the one who made me watch it. He said it was incredible, but it wasn't until your portrayal of Gotti, the self-titled television film in 1996, where you finally walked away with the Primetime Emmy for Outstanding Lead Actor in a Drama Series. Yep. What was that moment like for you?
It was gratifying. I will say, that was. I think one of the reasons people wax on and on and on when they win an award is because they thank everybody in their life. But the truth of the matter is, you have to thank everyone in your life because you don't do it alone.
Right.
And I mean, Gotti was written by Steve Shagan, Vince Patrick. These are two of the legendary writers that America doesn't even know about. They were blacklisted. I mean, they've been through hell, but they were phenomenal writers. And the thing is that, the culmination of that project is the culmination of Robert Harmon, Cooper from HBO. There was Gary Lucchese. So many artists had worked on it, and then the casting process was very, very long, which I was, thank God, intimately involved in. But the point is that moment is like, my God, all the energy that went into me to be able to be here, I cannot take for granted at this moment. And that's really what it's about. Mm-hmm. That's what that kind of moment is about. You realize, my God, all the people, the energy that went into me to do this is what that moment really is about. Maybe not for other people.
Well, I mean,
for me, it was like, wow.
It's amazing. Did you actually get to meet Gotti for that role? No way. They got him locked. Yeah.
No.
He passed already, or was he still alive?
The closest I came was I met people that had grown up with him, and I did a lot of research on his life, a lot of homework. But no, I didn't know him or his family or anyone.
Because you have an interesting, I read when you were on the cover of Cigar Aficionado, I read that article. You have an interesting portrayal of the gangster, of them being almost whimsical and comical, but like a switch can become basically like frightening.
I think that's the irony of probably any true sociopath.
Yeah.
Is that there's almost a bipolar world.
Yeah, that's what he said. You're bipolar.
It's almost a bipolar
1 minute they'll be
world.
joking, telling great stories, laughing, and basically could be ready to...
Well, you're living on the edge of reality, and I think if a person wants to make that moral choice, or amoral choice, it's a very dangerous way to live your life.
Well, excellent point. We have to take a break. It's been fascinating. We're going to have a lot more with Armand Assante when we come back, so make sure you're keeping it lit.